Hey, buddy. Take me to Nats. Come on. Take me to Nats. Come on. You can do it. Take me to Nats. What is a pet deck? A pet deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Usually refers to a deck that is a go-to. It's a deck that you play every time because you have a deep, fond affection for it. You often keep it around, you update it with modern cards, you continue to run with it for the love and the fun of the game. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so fast-paced and the environment changes so often, you'll often see a certain demographic of decks that dominate the meta for a certain period of time per core set. Right now we're seeing Cool Tunes. We're seeing the domination of Light and Darkness Ritual. We're seeing, hell, even Angeli is seeing a lot of play, and it doesn't even have its main support yet. We're seeing, we're still seeing Mitsurugi. We're seeing Fiendsmith Yummy. These core component decks that immediately upon release, they have a domination effect upon the meta. That being said, there are a core set of duelists, maybe even you, who might pilot a pet deck just simply because you love it, simply because you enjoy it. Shout out to Ryan Yu, going 18-0. Very good Sky Striker pilot. Loves that deck. Probably is his own pet deck. He loves the combos. It's not the deck, it's him though, you know. But either way, a lot of people are drawn to a certain deck because they love the art style. A lot of people like the play style. A lot of people like the style of play for the deck, like either it's a control deck or a combo deck, or if you're one of those disgusting players out there, maybe it's a floodgate deck. I don't know, Thunder players out there, Thunder Dragons, who knows? Shout out to Jesse Cotton. Sometimes it's a deck that got you into the game. Sometimes it's a deck that you started Yu-Gi-Oh! With. I used to really love Machinas. Sometimes it's an anime deck. Shout out to Rolad. There's a myriad of reasons why you usually pick up a pet deck. And while you probably won't use a pet deck to top a premier event at a tier 3 tournament, people usually bring them to locals or casual matches to enjoy the game with their favorite cards. I know that personally, I have a mission where I want to get my first ever regional top with Rescue Ace. That is my personal goal. It's getting harder every time the seasons change, but it's a deck that not a lot of people prepare for. A lot of times new cards come out, I'm like, ooh, let me integrate these cards into my new strategies for my deck and see if I can make something work with the new strats that I've developed. Like any level of play with Yu-Gi-Oh, practice makes perfect. The consistency and comfortability of a deck that you know the combos of can help you better interact with the mechanics that Yu-Gi-Oh really represents. For instance, at my last locals that I went to, I was playing against a zone lock deck. I was playing against Kashtira, and I had misset up my giant Rescue Ace board with Arbitrator, which at the end of a resolution of a chain will pop a card. This player set a trap card and then immediately went to go activate a normal spell. I had to tell the player, because at these kind of events, you have to be nice about how you kind of say this. I didn't want to let that get through because that could mean he wins. So I had to politely remind the player, hey, when you set a card, that is an open game state action. If you don't have a quick play, I have a quick play I want to activate an emergency. Summoned out a card, distributed the Hydronet I had on field. And I said, okay, on open game state, do you have any quick play spells? He said, no. Okay, Arbitrator will pop that set trap card before you have a chance to interact with that spell. So it sounds kind of douchey, but trust me, these kind of plays with your favorite decks, they really help you bring out the most of the mechanics. And I never felt like I understood Yu-Gi-Oh! More than that locals night when I was explaining chains and open game states and priority. I'm a new player to Yu-Gi-Oh! I say that with quotes. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For on and off, never competitively until the start of 2024, when Infinite Forbidden came out. Whenever Info came out and Fiendsmith were all the rage, I decided to start playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I started playing with pet decks. Pet decks got me into the game. I don't think I can understate the importance of that statement. Being a new player, I might not have the best opinions about pet decks, but I would like to bring it over to my special guest today, Pheromone, who's going to tell you a little bit more about pet decks. Take it away, Pheromone.
Thanks for passing me the mic, Junk, because we have got a lot to talk about, because the pet deck is such an interesting question that really doesn't have one specific answer. What is a pet deck? I think for a lot of duelists, it's that deck that at the back of their mind, when a new card is announced, they think to themselves, I know this is for the strategy, I know it's supposed to do this, but what if I put it in my deck anyway? And I think there's a lot of different decks that feel near and dear to duelist hearts, whether it's a character from the anime that they're dedicating their entire livelihood towards really crystallizing that strategy for competitive play. But I think the pet deck even goes beyond that. It's not a deck that you want to compete with. It is just that deck that you are always working on, trading towards, doing something with. And for me, it absolutely is Amazement. And the reason why I just love Amazement Administrator Arlecchino so much, to the degree actually that I've collected him in multiple languages, hoping one day to play that overseas, is that it's an interesting deck that kind of had a lot of the elements of characters like Yugi, you know, cool guy doing cool things, a very gymnastic, acrobatic monster that's kind of like dodging and jumping out of the way. So all that anime stuff that was just sort of like coded into my DNA felt familiar. But the reason I actually picked this deck up is during the pandemic, I was on the remote duel servers, if you remember those, and internationally, they actually also had remote duel servers for the OCG, and I saw just fellow duelists piling up their Lightning Overdrive cards and making the Amazement deck, and there was so much back and forth stuff, and I decided, okay, I'm going to build this. Now, granted, that was during the Mystic Mine era, right? We had a few different tools in the toolbox that we no longer have, which meant when Mystic Mine ended up getting hit, and there were better ways to run Amazement, even better actually without being sort of hamstrung by Mystic Mine, you know, you always think, okay, can this fit in? Can that fit in? But the reason why it feels like the pet deck is every single time a normal trap card is announced, I think to myself, oh my goodness, since I'm not a Labyrinth stan, not to say there's anything bad about Labyrinth, it's just not my deck, I'm like, oh, I could run Trap Trick or Transaction Rollback or any of these things that help me just get my traps out faster, and that means I can get Arlecchino to the board even sooner. And so if you are having these conversations in your head, if you're thinking, does this new card, does Pot of Sloth go in my deck? Does this go in my deck? Does that go in my deck? Even if you aren't planning on playing that deck in the next week, month, even this whole year, duelist, you may have found yourself a pet deck.
Spoken like a true Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. Spoken like a true announcer. Thank you so much, Pheromone, for being in the video today. I really appreciate your time. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Make sure to drop a comment down below, leave a like, and subscribe to the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.